our U-White solution here against Rude Martin? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm always down for some testing. I got it in the description, so. Ooh, we have a really interesting proposition here. A late drop standstill might be kind of nice. I'm going to lead on this coastal tower. It gives us an upside of counterspell or seal for the next turn, depending on what we see drop in. We could go with a turn 4 standstill with a backup of counterspell, potentially, if we hit our land drops here. Island. Don't know why, but I'm just feeling stasis, so I'm going to drop in this coastal tower. I was about to say I do not know what you play, but now I do. So that's fair enough. I'm going to... I'm going to drop this out, and I'm going to toss down the Seal of Cleansing. Yeah, they're going to have to probably give us a weak counter, and that's alright. If they want to jam a Stasis next turn, I'm not mad about that the slightest, because they still want to cast spells. So let's see what they got going on here. He thinks I'm on U-White control, and that's a fair point. But I'm going to put down... Okay. Now I could run a really dangerous line right here. Oh man, I'm thinking. I was thinking maybe a Mother of Runes into a standstill, but I don't know if they're going to take the bait on the mom. I'm going to... They actually had no lands. That's not good for them. You know what? I haven't got to drop an aggressive line here yet. I'm just going to let this rock out, you know? Try and hit my land drops. Don't want to, you know, mess anything up. Got counters open for when I need them. There's weird. Oh, man. I love when I have a talkative opponent. It's really nice, especially before I was recording any of the voice. It made stuff, you know, a lot more enjoyable. To have someone to at least talk to and be able to have a conversation with mid-game. That's one thing I don't love about, you know, playing online, is I can't sit there and talk to my opponent across the table and just have, you know, a fun conversation. Let's see if we can beat them down here. It'll be a long 20-turn game, but this is kind of what I was hoping the deck would do, just incremental value and potentially force a standstill at some point, or force them to pop a standstill with a good amount of mana open. We do not have a ton of in the air interaction right now, but we have a seal and stuff to deal with. We can try and slip that through. I would have liked to see the Meddling Mage, but it's alright. A Meddling Mage early on. Now it's a little bit less of impact, but is what it is. We have 24 lands in this deck, and you know, not hitting them is normally not a big deal. This deck operates relatively well at 4 mana, but we got them locked under a standstill, so if they want to go, they're going to have to go pretty gnarly. And I would like to have more mana so that when interaction comes, we can deal with it. There we go. picking up on the land, getting in there. Clock is a concern, but it's not a huge concern due to, you know, Stasis as well being a clock eater usually. As long as I'm quick on the one button, we should be okay. Other swords. Swords don't really matter. Actually, swords don't matter pretty much at all in this. Although they said they had a little bit of a sideboard surprise. So I might leave a single swords in for dealing with the what's it called? They have a stifle knot package out of the board. I personally find that to be a really interesting concept if they were to do that. Okay. Got them locked under the standstill here. So, like, if they have it in the sideboard, you never know. What do we got here? 2 hounds you control. Tap all creatures. Interesting. Factory showing up. Never mad to see a factory show up, especially when you're just pushing incremental beats. That kind of shortens this clock a bit, makes them think about, you know, how they want to handle everything. Tapping some mana over there. Important. Okay. Pop the standstill. Seeing 3 plows here, which really hurts. We only got 1 piece of interaction in the air. I guess that Mishra's Factory kind of forced some action regardless. We got 2 meddling mages. They got 7 cards and they want to jam. I'll play some fun with some interaction here. I'll toss a counterspell at this. Not really too bothered at this current moment. Okay. They wanted to go for it. That's fine. We have a land drop, to say the least. They get another card, which is obviously not non-zero, but wow. Let me go white-blue meddling mage. I'm going to name Chain of Vapor with the first one. And then I think I'm actually just going to leave Chain of Vapor and go Standstill. And if they answer this, I'm left open to either toss an Exalted Angel. Okay. They were fine by that. I don't know if they have any other bounces for my meddling mage. If they do, they do. I'm going to leave the factory up just in case they get me locked again. Gonna have to exile a card. Cast into it. I got 3 mana up. I have a decent board against Stasis. Played against it a lot recently. Pop that. Nope, not a whole lot I can do on that, oddly enough. Okay, an important. That's fine. So this is where it gets kind of fun. I could just go Black Vice on the second one. I don't know if they have a way to win. Outside of that. Drop in a Flooded Strand. And I'm just going to get in here. If they want to bounce it, they can. They have the ability to. I'll get in with that. The Stasis is what it is. I could have went, you know, Chain of Vapor into Stasis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I gotta drop 3. 1, 2, 3. Low impact cards. I'm just gonna continue to hit my land drops here. And I'm just gonna basically wait on a decree. We have 4 out of our 20 sources tapped down here. So I'm not going to fetch. I'm just going to leave it completely open. Never happy to see another Exalted Angel in a situation like this. But, you know, don't want to run it too narrow, too thin. If we have to try and force through a seal, I'd like to have some kind of counter protection as backup. But I'm not seeing anything with that right now. It's a really interesting resource game against Stasis. Come on, give me a land drop here. Counter spell. Okay, I'll take that. I'm going to pitch an Exalted Angel here. Just continue on with my life. Interesting, they're not pitching a card here. They must have a gush if they're willing to sacrifice an island to do so. Building up for a large Decree of Justice. Another Plains, okay. Happy to see that drop. Issue is too with these standstills popping, and unfortunately not finding us much interaction. We are losing the decking race as well. So we only have 20 tap mana sources in this deck truly outside of the strands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 out of 20 currently. 9 out of 20. We're accounted for relatively well right now. If we can get a large Decree of Justice that they can't deal with, that's going to be really nice. I'm sorry, I also forgot to pull this window open. They've tossed a couple different things in there. Just letting this ride out. Another Flooded Strand, okay. Hitting our land drops, that's what we're looking for. Decree of Justice. Sitting in our hand. So, we're not casting it, we'll be cycling it. We still have a lot of our deck to play with regardless. Fetching also, unfortunately, takes a bit of our available cards in our deck as well. Something else to keep in mind. Wastelands are something I've seen in these builds as of recent, but it's not something I've been interested in for a good while. I have the factories here to pair with the Standstill package. Drop this Mother of Runes. So you could, against something like, you know, this deck, obviously Forsaken City is the primary engine behind, well, the primary support piece to the primary engine. They're hitting their land drops now, which is good to see for us in a certain way. They obviously have untapped mana, which is always scary with Stasis, but let's see. So we have 20 left. We have 1. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of our 20 hittables. We're going to have -3, so really it's going to be like 17 hittables accounted for. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 untapped. It's alright, I'll hold on to this. I'll pitch an Exalted Angel. Okay, they're tapping their islands. They might be planning on returning Stasis to their hand here at some point. They're going to have a real nasty mana base if they do. Starting to craft a real nice hand over there. Another Silver Knight. Not exactly who we're looking for in this situation. Silver Knight to the bin. Okay, using Forsaken City this time. Putting away a counterspell. Never want to see that. They're going to use a lot of free interaction if we have to go for a battle on the stack. I'm not too worried about it right now due to having the Seal of Cleansing. The Gush is a tough one. They return 2 islands. I'm not going to expend resources into this. We're going to be trying to get the cycling W here, but it's going to take a good long while to do so. Another island. Okay. So I have 4 ways, 2 coastal towers, 4 strands, 2 factories, 6 islands, and 6 plains in this deck. Impulse. Glad I got a reprint race recently too. I don't think it was previously in Pioneer, but I like that it is now. They got a full stack over there, you know? They're looking pretty fat. Put a foil in, so they're looking nice with counter spells. Left that Forsaken City up. I don't know if they have any other bounce spells for their Stasis. Okay, so this is an interesting value proposition. I could... So I have 2 Seal of Cleansing. Yeah, I think I'm going to try a fight on here. And see if next turn... I'm going to toss a counterspell device. I'm going to make it seem like I don't have seals. Okay, they want to put an island, so they got 4 cards in their hand. I'll tap down a factory. And they're going to have another follow-up for this. So right now they have at least 1 island. A thwart. Return 3 islands. Okay. That's fine with me. I still want to hit my land drops here. Okay. Yep, gonna take a bit of a ping from that. That's alright. Got another decree. Let me go plains 1 for a seal. Wow. Plains for a seal. Wow. Okay. If I could beat them at their own game with these untaps, ooh, that's going to be nasty. Chain of Vapor is often how they reset their stasis as well. I'm going to blast their stasis here. I'll take an additional ping. They have a ton of islands in hand right now. And I'm going to get in with this. And I'm going to pass. I'm just going to keep the tempo beats on. There's not a whole lot. You know, they can continue to drain me down very small with Black Vice, and that doesn't bother me too much. I'm just going to keep getting in. Yeah, good game. Very nice. I'm surprised they had shields down for that. They, I tried to time it at the right time. Aura of Silence I like against this deck. Null Rod doesn't have much play, and I have a Null. And I also have Abolish. Abolish I'm testing right now. I don't know. I don't have a ton of Plains cards, which is sort of the issue. It's a lot better in mono white. But I'm going to bring it in against this deck just to see. Automatically, the swords come. Actually, I'm going to leave that. Actually, no. When I test against people, I don't like to play as if I have knowledge. And I do that also for any league I really play in. So I'm gonna leave. And I realize I went through all that. And the lance. Cataclysm doesn't hurt there. I'm gonna take out one Silver Knight, 4 swords. Silver Knight just having the least amount of text in this. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Resubmitting here. This is a really interesting take here. I'm not looking to turbo this out, so I'm just going to keep this. If they have turbo, they have turbo. Like it is what it is. Turn 1 Vice, win some, lose some. Seal Cleansing for that if we feel it's necessary. Another Vice. Okay, 2 of them really hurts, but we'll try our best to get through them. I'm going to drop Plains. I'm going to go Chain of Vapor. We're going to get hit. We're going to get hit. It's real nasty. I'm going to have to just drop the seal. I'm just going to drop the seal and pray to God they don't have a counter spell. I'm getting an aggro start from Stasis. There's nothing about this that I don't love. It's fantastic to see. Another reason why I ran that out there, even if it got countered, I want to slowly strip my hand down as far as I can. If they have a Stasis here, they have a Stasis. They have a Stasis here. So, is what it is. Can't win them all. Lucky for us, we have a ton of drops in our hand. So, this is a triple ouch. I'm going to drop down just an island. Pass. I mean, if we don't come up with an answer real soon, we're going to be looking real ugly. They're completely tapped out. We're trapped under Stasis here. We're going to have to go for broke, and we don't have much of an option. Yep, GG's. Nothing we can do on that one, sadly. That was a really cool start from them, and it kind of makes me happy to see. It's rather funny as well. Thinking about there's anything else I want to put into this deck here. I'm gonna go on the play here for sure. Okay, 2 mana, two meddling mages. I'll keep this. They have a vice, they have a vice. This time I will not name Chain of Vapor with Meddling Mage. I will probably slam into straight up Stasis. Okay, they start with 6. They took a Molly. Gonna drop a single island in and pass. Haven't seen an annul. I haven't seen many sideboard cards yet, actually. Vice, another one. They love it. Okay, well, we're gonna be getting a little bit of pain here. Yep, Art Card Waste is a tough one. If they have it with the days. I need to get this out regardless. Yep, nothing we can do. We're gonna get hit by the days, and that's okay. Trims our hand down a bit against this vice, puts them on the disadvantage. We need a land drop here. We play 24 lands. Just give me a darn land drop, for God's sakes. This black vice is just chewing into me. Nope, why would we? See if they have it again. Yep. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. We don't hit our land drops. We're going to take those L's sometimes. We're getting chewed down by the vice. We have the answer in hand. Ugh, that is not what we're looking for right now. Unbelievable. Painful. We're just, I mean, we can't leave Standstill open solely due to just what our deck is. We need to get this Exalted Angel resolved or we're just completely toasted. Coastal Tower tap. That is actually incredibly painful. I can't sit here and stress that enough. I'll let him have an impulse. Let him dig. Double days on a mold of 6 with a black vice opener. Meh. You're gonna have that. The way that they played that out and just didn't really care and just said go was steep. This black vice putting pressure on us. We gotta dump an angel out. Face down with morph. We're getting absolutely housed here, not hitting land drops. Yeah, I mean, we're just getting diced. It's gonna happen. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that we aren't hitting anything, but that's gonna happen with variants, unfortunately, throughout all this. These vice puts just a very, very, very fast clock on. It's pinging me for essentially a shock every turn. They miss a land drop, so they got nothing but interaction in their hand. I'm locked under a vice. I mean, I'm gonna put a mom out. Yeah, I'm just gonna put a mom out. Not much else I could do. I actually hope they go for a counter there. No, of course not. We really can't. We don't want to see a stasis. Missing these lands is just absolutely brutal. Oh, they even got a Forsaken City. They're essentially just at no risk. Man, this is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Yeah, I'm gonna try and put it out with Morph. It's probably not gonna resolve. Yep. I already know we're going to have a counter coming in here. They got 7 cards in hand. 5 of them are non-lands, possibly. We're just not looking good at all. Yeah. And that's going to hurt us with the Black Vice. Issue is, too, we can't even lock under Standstill. Like, we just got absolutely housed here. They have another Gush. A Brain Freeze. Oh, sick. Awesome to see some Brain Freeze tech out the board. They get to draw a card off of Arcane Denial. Yep. Another Exalted Angel. We're going to take what? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take... yeah. Oh, GG's. Well, can't win them all. Gonna be a nice little... Sorry, I'm not speaking much here. But yeah, maybe we'll get another rematch with the Stasis. It's a really fun match to play against with this deck. We just got absolutely housed with what I had going on in my hand here in the second game, in this third game. But overall, really, really fun match, and appreciate Rud Martin coming out here with this. So if you guys enjoyed it, just leave a like, subscribe,